Welcome into a fresh new hour of CBS Sports HQ. I'm Jordan Giorgio. We begin with the latest out of the NFL as training camps are underway and some big names are absent as they're awaiting some big paydays. Here's a look at our current NFL holdout tracker. That includes Washington Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin, Bengals Trey Hendrickson, really highlighting this list. We, of course, hope the best case scenario plays out for both the team and player coming into terms on a new deal. But what if it doesn't? Well, now things will get interesting, and we have some what ifs to really go through as we welcome in our own Kyle Long and Mike Renner for more on this. Guys, we're going to go through some of these big names and what they mean to their team and just how important it is for a deal to get done. On the flip side, if that doesn't happen, what's the plan? Let's go ahead and begin here with the Bengals and just how much they need Trey Hendrickson, a part of their future, as well as Shamar Stewart. Kyle.
Well, you know, the Bengals fans, they can't deal with another year where their team success is hampered by the lack of defensive success. Look, the offense is great, but they couldn't even stop a runny nose with a box of tissues. So with Trey Hendrickson out there, you have the ability to, at the very least, get after the quarterback. He's an integral part of their defense. Without him, you're at a standstill contractually. And we talked about it with Jonathan Jones this morning. This is a guy that could just be home in Florida, hanging out in South Florida all year, watching the Bengals. That's the last thing that the fans want in Cincinnati, and that's the last thing that Joe Burrow wants.
So if doomsday does come around, what does this defense look like without these two, Mike?
It looks bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, Trey Hendrickson was your pass rush a year ago. He had 83 pressures. The other 4 starters, so if he's not there, you're slated 4 starters. They had 95 combined. So he is as impactful as basically everyone else on that defensive front. And the big thing is here, too, is that's not only him, it's Shamar Stewart, who's your first rounder. So it's like, if he doesn't go and Shamar Stewart's there, yeah, you have 2 former first rounders off the edge, and Miles Murphy, Shamar Stewart. Maybe those guys get reps, they get time to develop. But if Shamar Stewart's not even in there developing, it's like you as a Bengals fan just have to be hanging your head, because this is worst case scenario right now. The same story we saw playing out last year with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins being upset. Well, we have more locker room leaders being upset coming into training camp.
Let's go ahead and check in with Dallas, who's doing Dallas things, waiting till probably the very last minute to get a deal done with their star edge rusher, of course, Micah Parsons. How critical is it that Dallas takes care of one of their best guys, Kyle?
I mean, obviously, you got to take care of him. This should have been done before, Jordan, and the price continues to go up. You look around the league, I feel like every week we see a new edge rusher getting a monumental deal done, and you just add numbers to that. That's what Micah Parsons is going to be owed. And for a franchise who's trying to hit the reset button here or really pick up where Coach McCarthy led off under Coach Schottenheimer's leadership, you're going to need these stars to be taken care of for the long term, or else they're going to be at an unattainable price. The Cowboys need a leader like Micah Parsons in the building, and in that pass rush room, you got Ezeraku as well, but he's a rookie. We've yet to see what he can do in the NFL. We know what Micah can do. Take care of that guy, or he's going to become unattainable.
Yeah, on the flip side, if Parsons is not in Dallas, the Cowboys would have to find some ways to mitigate the major loss of production and leadership in that locker room, which really is a scary thought, Mike.
It is, but to me, it's not as dire maybe as the Bengals situation. I think there's still ways to cobble this together. Maybe not week 1 against the Eagles, but I do think this defense, one of the biggest things, they have to improve against the run. They were the 4th worst in the NFL against the run. Parsons was a little bit of a factor in that. He's not a great run defender for as good as he is a pass rusher, not necessarily an impact run defender. So it would give guys like Marshawn Nealon, guys like Sam Williams, guys like Donovan Ezeraku, a bunch of second rounders who they've taken in recent years to kind of cycle through there to fill in for Parsons and maybe blitz a little bit more. But Matt Eberflus, new DC, he doesn't really want to blitz. So they're going to have to get pressure with 4. It's going to be impactful, but I think the Cowboys can still cobble it together a little bit.
But not as dire as the Bengals situation noted there. Lastly, just how important is it for the Commanders under this new ownership who has been just doing things all the right way since they stepped in, turning this franchise around to give the heart and soul of their team who has been through all the chaos, really, while contributing also on the field? Terry McLaurin, a new contract, Kyle.
Yeah, Jordan, you pointed that out. I mean, regardless of who plays quarterback for this Washington Commanders football team, Terry McLaurin shows up and he shows out. That's all you can ask for out of a wide receiver or any football player. But look, he's 29 years old, and committing to a guy at this age at the receiver position, Mike so eloquently put earlier on pushing the pile, you know, these receivers are the ones that diminish quickly because of their explosive speed, and the lack thereof at the end is what the management fears, ownership fears. You don't want to commit fiscally to these guys. But to put it bluntly, the Commanders, they need this guy at the receiver position if they want to have a chance of repeating the success they had last year. Jaden Daniels can count on Terry McLaurin week in, week out. He's a great leader, and that's why he's got the C on his chest, Jordan.
We understand it's a business, but not getting this done really, Mike, seems like it would be the first negative thing that this ownership group has done, because you see the window of opportunity that this team has with Terry McLaurin as a part of their future. If they don't get this done, what does this team and offense look like if Terry isn't there and Debo goes down week 5?
It's definitely going to be different, right? And I think the biggest thing they're going to lose is that vertical threat. Jaden Daniels, one of the best pure go ball throwers in the NFL. Terry McLaurin, one of the best pure go ball wide receivers in the NFL. And after him, that roster doesn't have a guy. Debo, great underneath threat, great yak threat, not a great vertical threat. Noah Brown, similarly, not a great vertical threat. Luke McCaffrey, similarly, there is just not a guy who can go get it down the football field once you lose McLaurin. But I do think they have some leverage here, because it's not as if McLaurin's vastly underpaid the way Hendrickson and Parsons are. He just barely scraped over 1,000 yards last season, never gone for over 1,200 yards in his career, and he's getting over $20 million in new money this season. So it's not as if he is grossly underpaid by NFL standards. He just wants that long-term security at his age, knowing that if he gets hurt, whatnot, that it's going to cost him in the long run. So for me, I think the Commanders can get by and also call his bluff here if they really want to.
Okay, so it still remains that Trey Hendrickson is really the dire one here on the panic meter to get done, in your opinion, then, Mike?
100%. He is the one that, for the Bengals, you're toast if you don't have him.
All right, we'll see how all of these situations really play out. Kyle Long, Mike Renner, always great to see you. The countdown is on to the start of the NFL season. We'll wait and see if these guys get the paydays that they are wanting. The guys will have all the analysis throughout the course of the season on the Pushing the Pile podcast. Scan that QR code on your screen and watch and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.